Graduates, tonight you become part of another special family, that being the University of Wisconsin-Platteville alumni. This is the 196th commencement ceremony at the University of Wisconsin-Platteville, where more than 55,000 graduates have earned their diplomas. You are also graduating at a very special time as we celebrate our sesquicentennial, the 150th anniversary of the university. You will carry the rich history that is the University of Wisconsin-Platteville. Congratulations to all of our candidates here tonight. Tomorrow morning, we honor the rest of the graduates in the College of Business, Industry, Life Science, and Agriculture, as well as some graduate studies students. Later tomorrow, we will salute graduates of the College of Liberal Arts and Education and of the College of Engineering, Mathematics, and Science. In all, we have 1,007 undergraduates and 138 graduate candidates in all four ceremonies. So let me tell you a little bit about tonight's ceremony. We will first hear words of encouragement and congratulations from our student speaker, commencement speaker, and finally from our chancellor. We will also recognize some special people and then present the candidates for graduation. Graduates, each commencement, a student speaker is chosen to represent you, the graduating seniors. This year's speaker is graduating with a degree in business administration with emphases in management, advertising, marketing, and human resources. He has held many positions within the university, such as a foundation prospect researcher, student body president, and a communications specialist. Outside of the university, he has been able to use his educational background to successfully complete his work at Platinum Supplemental Insurance and 10X LLC. He is a Platteville native who is well known in both the university and local community. Please join me in welcoming Joseph Sigworth.
That's cool. Well, thank you all for being here today. And thank you, Provost Den Herter, for that kind introduction. I am truly honored to be speaking on behalf of the first graduating class of this year's 150th celebration. Now, if you've looked at the program, you'll see that we start the speech or the ceremony off tonight with 45 minutes of student remarks that I've prepared. So settle in.
Joe, wait. There's been a mistake. It's not 45 minutes. It's 4 to 5 minutes.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm just gonna wing it then. Yeah, I'll wing it. No, I brought a backup speech. It's okay. All right. So for those of you in the audience who are still trying to search through the program to figure out who I am, it is on page 14. But I'll just kind of let you know right now, I'm a business administration major, as the provost said. Outside of the classroom, I've done a lot, from student body president, which is this cord, to being in swing dance club, to being a member of the Sigma Phi Epsilon fraternity. Now, I'm also a bit of a townie. I was raised here in Platteville since the age of 7. I was mostly just a bald, illiterate child from Denver, Colorado before that, so I guess you could say things have gone nowhere but up since I've come to Platteville. And I am truly honored to be speaking here in front of you today. And when I say truly honored, I really mean it. I was wearing sweatpants last night, eating ramen noodles out of a cup at my apartment, and here I am today trying to string together a few words of wisdom for my fellow graduates. UW-Platteville has been our home for the last 4 years, and I think I can speak for all of us when I say that we're really going to miss it. Now, I've been saying I'll miss it for quite some time, but the reality of that didn't sink in until recently. You see, when I say Platteville is home, I don't just mean a roof over my head and that meal of ramen noodles from last night. There is so much more to it than that. And since this is a historic year not only for us, but for the university, because 150 years really is kind of a big deal, I would like to share just a few quick thoughts about this year's graduating class, as well as a unifying theme that I've noticed throughout the last 150 years of pioneers. The first thing, and this is for all you accounting majors, so pay attention, I brought numbers. Did you know that UW-Platteville was just named the best UW system school 2 years running as far as best overall return on investment at 11.4%? Did you also know that we were given the title of #2 best value institution in the entire state? And on last year's post-graduation report, the School of Business graduates were also doing very, very well. We had a higher employment rate than the campus average, and we were employed at jobs that we wanted to do. So the research has shown again and again that people hire pioneers. I was in Appleton a little while back, and I ran into a gentleman who runs his own successful marketing business. We got talking about marketing, and to be honest, we started geeking out a little bit about the pay-per-clicks and the sales funnels and heat mapping on websites. You marketing majors know what I'm talking about, yeah? Well, he said to me, "Where do you go to school, Joe?" And I said, "Platteville." And he just nodded and he said, "Yep, that makes sense. You guys know what you're doing down there. Platteville grads know what they're doing." There's no doubt in my mind that this room is filled with incredible talent. When it comes down to it, at the end of today's ceremony, though, we will all be college graduates, and that's not something that just happens on its own. But the talent in this room is not what has made us college graduates. There is something else that makes us truly pioneers. Beyond the numbers, there's another common trait, I think, to being a pioneer. Will Smith provides some very apropos thoughts for us today. He said, "The separation of talent and of skill is one of the greatest misunderstood concepts for people who are trying to excel, for people who have dreams, who want to do things. See, talent you have naturally. Skill is only developed by hours and hours and hours of beating at your craft." Will Smith hit the nail on the head when he laid out one of the keys to his widespread success. He also hit upon what I believe is at the core of what makes a pioneer a pioneer. See, we understand the difference between talent and success, and UW-Platteville has taught us that. One way is through our professors. As a tour guide here on campus, we're always boasting that Platteville professors really take their time to really teach us students. Professor Timothy Strait, who's actually sitting up here on stage with me today, taught me over the last 4 years to recognize my natural talents and apply myself again and again to better my skills in those areas. And I'm sure a lot of you have had a similar experience in your time here. But now, we're the ones graduating. And what do we do with that? So show of hands, who here has had a dream before? Could be a big dream, could be a little dream, something small and personal. Yeah, I see you guys. I'd like to tell you about one dream of mine. Throughout school, I was in a lot of theater shows. My parents, who are sitting over here, will remember me putting on marionette shows from the bunk in my bedroom. And my older sisters were always forcing me to act out all of the boy parts in their American Girl doll plays. So I guess you could say I was a little bit of a theater nerd. When I graduated high school, I had a bit of a pipe dream to direct and produce my own theater production before I graduated. Well, life hit me like a freight train, and 3 years of business classes later, well, I was heading into my last summer as an undergrad. I ran into my old speech professor, Connie Furlan. She asked me if I'd ever done anything with my dream, and I was honest with her, I'd almost forgotten about it. She looked me in the eyes and she said, "Joe, I always challenge my students to create something each and every day. You have the opportunity here to create something that you have always wanted. Do it, Joe." And so 6 months later, months full of constant effort and dedication and beating at my craft, along with a fantastic group of fellow pioneers, some of whom are sitting here before me today, I was able to realize my dream and perform right here on campus in my own production of It's a Wonderful Life. But see, my dream didn't end there. In the process of realizing my dream, we were able to partner with my fraternity and help them reach over 200 community service hours, and we also partnered with the local Sexual and Domestic Abuse Center and donated the proceeds from the production. So in the process of making my dream come true, countless others were able to make their dreams come true as well. Now, I wanted to share this story with you because it is so very important for us to realize that our dreams are what makes life worth living. Now, I asked you just a few moments ago if you'd ever had a dream. Now let me ask you this. Would realizing your dream make your life even just a little bit better? Or just a little bit more fulfilling? Would it make someone else's life just a little bit better? If the answer is yes, then there is no excuse for you to not go forward confidently in the direction of your dreams. My first job on campus was as a tour guide for the admissions office my freshman year. Now, one of my favorite parts about being a tour guide is talking with a student who, after staring at me for a somewhat uncomfortable amount of time, finally gets the courage to approach and says, you know, I think you were my tour guide. And I remember, because when the tour was over, I don't know what it was, but I knew Platteville was the place for me. Now, what I really like about this is that I was that student my first year here. I didn't know what it was, but I knew that Platteville was the place for me. Now I can look back and I can say that I'm a better person because of Platteville. And in a way, I've already realized a dream because of my time as a pioneer. Now we've had a good run here. It's been our home for the last 4 years. We've been given the skills to succeed, and by virtue of the fact that we're sitting in this room, each of us has already succeeded. I know each of you has spent many long hours beating at your craft in the library this week at 10:59, right before they kick you out, right? Now, being a pioneer doesn't stop here. Being a pioneer doesn't stop like Cinderella at midnight tonight. See, now we have the rest of our lives to be pioneers. And there have been 150 years of pioneers realizing their dreams before us. And that is a huge legacy. Sir Isaac Newton said, "We are like dwarves, perched on the shoulders of giants, and thus we are able to see more and further, not because our sight is superior, but because they raise us up." I hope that my words resonate with you all tonight, because this is graduation. My hope is that you can look back at this moment and say that today was the day you took your dreams and ran with them. My hope is that you never stop running. My hope is that you create new things each and every day. My hope is that you travel to new places. My hope is that you make others better for knowing you. But most importantly, my hope is that you'll remember these few words shared with me earlier this semester by a classmate. Relax. You'll become an adult. You'll figure out your career. You'll find someone who loves you. You have your whole lifetime. Time takes time, and the only way to fail at life is to abstain. We've got this, pioneers. Congratulations, class of 2016. Thank you.
Thank you, Joe. Some of you may be wondering what the different colored stoles and cords are that many of our graduates are wearing. Our international students wear white flag stoles featuring the United States flag and the flag of their home country. University of Wisconsin-Platteville students who have studied abroad wear stoles featuring the flag of the country where they studied. Clubs, organizations, and honor societies have bestowed different color stoles and pins on their graduates, representing the extracurricular and high-impact practices and the learning that went along with their classroom experiences. And you might also notice that our graduates are wearing our sesquicentennial pins this evening, a special remembrance that they are the sesquicentennial class. I had one on and I lost it somewhere. At this time, I'd like to call special attention to those wearing gold honor cords. The undergraduate students graduating with academic honors also are designated with asterisks in the commencement program. And I'd ask that these individuals who have achieved honors and are graduating magna cum laude to please rise. These students have earned cumulative grade point averages above a 3.5. Congratulations to our magna cum laude graduates. You may be seated. And now, will those students earning the highest honors and are graduating summa cum laude please stand? These students have earned cumulative grade point averages between 3.75 and a perfect 4.0. Please join me in congratulating our honors graduates. Tonight's principal speaker is a Platteville native and a 1974 alumnus who went on to receive his medical degree from the University of Wisconsin at Madison. He is a pediatrician who has practiced pediatric intensive care and neonatology and is currently Chief Officer Emeritus at Gunderson Health System in La Crosse, Wisconsin. His leadership at Gunderson Health System has garnered international attention for the organization's success in decreasing healthcare costs and enhancing the well-being of the community by launching sustainable efforts and setting a goal of achieving energy independence. So please help me in welcoming Dr. Jeffrey Thompson.
Got to move the podium down so the camera guy can see me. Just saying, I'm standing in a hole up here. I know it's warm. I'll try and be crisp. The asterisk after my name is because I was in the first graduating class for UW-Platteville 150 years ago. And if you think I have advice for the young people, I really don't. I mean, my only advice would be probably don't listen to old people in funny outfits. Maybe that's probably the only thing I would tell you. The Chancellor said no Platteville jokes, no university jokes, and no faculty jokes. So that's 6 of my 7 pages, and so I'm going to move quickly into this. I left Platteville, went to medical school, got married right after medical school. I've been married 37 years, had 3 children. We had wonderful, amazing children. We are still very tight. We travel together. They're independent. They've gone on to college, graduate schools. They have given back to their communities. They are wonderful folks. We have climbed Kilimanjaro. We swam at the bottom of the Great Barrier Reef. We've stood in the Great Migration in Tanzania. We've been in all the national parks. And at the same time, I was a neonatologist. I took care of babies that weighed less than a pound. I took care of children that got run over by tractors and were struggling for their lives. I worked with teams of people that were bright and caring and trained in many different skills. I had another career at Gunderson as the CEO, 14 years. We were disciplined, we measured, we said we are not as good as we need to be. We ended up getting awards around the country for having the best quality and the best service, for lowering the cost of care and improving the health of our communities. Sounds pretty braggy, doesn't it? But that when you go to CEO school, that's the first thing they teach you is the braggy part. So what I want you to understand is that you can do them both, right? You can do this and stick to your values. So the folks in the business school, you're going to hear people say, well, you got to step on faces, you got to cut corners, it's a bunch of crap. You don't have to do that. You can live by your values. You didn't think you're going to get an assignment. Here's an assignment. Look up the book Decisive. It's by Chip and Dan Heath. It's a great book. You're going to make 1 million decisions the rest of your life. They teach you how to think about decisions. It's a great book. It'll teach you about not getting cornered into bad decisions. At Platteville, I had a great start. I had wonderful professors. I got a terrific education. I thought I was going to leave after 2 years to get into medical school. I had a great education. I competed perfectly well. But one of the key pieces is understanding what it takes. Freshman chemistry. Clausen was the professor. Now there's a guy with courage. He had a job, came to class every day, didn't teach anything. I don't know why they paid him. He's sitting right over here. He would come and say, so what are your questions? You had your assignment, what are your questions? He expected you to actually learn on your own, to take responsibility. Very valuable lesson, more important than the chemistry. One went to freshman literature, Spofford. I thought I was smart. I thought I knew this stuff. I read this literature. Yeah, he tore me to shreds. Absolutely more red than black on my thing. I said, hey, what about all these brilliant ideas? He said, such a crappy presentation. You have to have more discipline. And when I was getting killed in calculus physics, absolutely annihilated. I never had physics before. Those stinking engineers, I shouldn't say that, sorry. Though there might be one here. Those engineers, they were on their 4th semester of physics. I was just learning my 1st semester. I was getting annihilated. Strom would say, you're okay, just take it easy. He wasn't getting annihilated, I was getting annihilated. By the way, speaking of annihilated, those engineers, yeah, when it came to organic and biochemistry, yeah, I killed them. The key was courage, discipline, and durability. Now come to the PEDS ICU with me. I'm a PEDS ICU guy. We go to the ICU. We got a 5-year-old boy on a ventilator, struggling to breathe. You could ask, are we giving him the right medicines? Are we treating him the right way as the ventilator? Are we doing all the right things? And we do all that. But we did ask, the courage part is, are we responsible for this? Why is he here? Why is he here again? So, your next assignment, read Jim Collins. Good to Great, Built to Last, great stuff. He'll say, face the brutal facts. We looked at the facts. How many organizations know what they're doing to the environment? We didn't. We found out. In 2008, Gunderson, billion-dollar organization, 7,000 employees, was putting 465,000 pounds of particulate matter into the atmosphere. We take care of asthmatics. We take care of COPD patients. We take care of heart patients. And we were hurting them. We said we can't do that. Now the discipline part was to say we're not just going to spend all the community's money, we're going to take an approach that saves money and improves the local economy. And this is another key. The key is you have to learn to take a disciplined disregard to conventional wisdom. There's a lot of conventional wisdom, mostly from people in funny hats, but there's a lot of conventional wisdom out there. You got to sort it. Now with the internet, we have even more wisdom pouring down us. You got to sort it. Because conventional wisdom would say it's the economy or the environment. It's jobs or the environment. That, again, was just crap. We said we will decrease our pollution, we will improve the economy of the local communities, and we'll save money for Gunderson. We did all of those things, and in 2015, I got invited to Paris to the climate talks with 140 international leaders, 190 countries. Why? Because we'd accomplished something. Their goals were 30% reduction by 2030 and 50% by 2050. In 2015, Gunderson's reduction in greenhouse gases and particulate matter was over 90%. Stunning, unheard of. Nobody else in the country has those numbers. It took courage, it took discipline. Another example from the hospital. We go to labor and delivery. I look out there. Many of you in the audience were babies at one time, or some of you kind of look like you're interested in making babies. No, we won't go there. But do you know the average number of chemicals in an American baby's cord blood? So that's the blood that comes right out of the baby at the time of birth, before they breathe, before they touch anything. It's over 100. Over 100 non-human chemicals, sometimes as low as 50, often over 200. Where's that come from? It comes from all of us. You throw stuff away, doesn't go away, stays in the environment. You burn stuff in an incinerator, comes back to us. You flush it down the drain, doesn't do that. We did the same thing. We said, we're going to admit we have a problem, we're going to have the discipline to organize it better, and we're going to save money. We do that. Our hazardous pharmaceutical wastes have dropped 21 times. That's 2,100%. And we make $140,000 a year. Okay, one more example. Again, going in the face of conventional wisdom. We had a company in town that was the rising star. 200, 500, 800 jobs, outside jobs, very good, high-tech jobs, lots of young people, good for the community. But their investors wanted to get out. Their investors wanted to get out. And the owners, the part owners, came to us and said, is there anything you guys could do? Well, a lot of people said, stay away from that. That's not the job of healthcare. But we had savings. We took 25% of our savings against the conventional wisdom. We invested in this company to save it in town. We kept it in town. Now, did we do it on a whim? No. Disciplined, careful, looking at it. But as a healthcare organization, we said this is good for the health and well-being of the community broadly, not just waiting until people get sick, but broadly. It took courage, it took discipline, and you had some durability to put up with all criticism. We did that. We saved that company in our community. It's now 2,000 employees. We sold out our pieces, made a profit, used that profit to build a mental health hospital that was desperately needed for the health and well-being of the community. Did we risk maybe our careers, maybe our reputation? Yes, but it was for the good of the local community. Another thing that happened is that the community understood that, and now they trust us. How does trust, where does trust come from? Well, it comes from repetitive choices consistent with your values. Stephen Covey wrote a book, Speed of Trust. The last assignment. Speed of Trust from Stephen Covey. We did this because we had a group of people. We hired people based on values, not skills. It was their values and their willingness to do that. I had a senior team that was paid below market, got no bonuses, didn't even have offices, for Pete's sake. I would never let them have a layoff. I said that was a failure of management. They had to figure out a way to do it upstream and ahead of time. Because of that, the staff trusted us, and we had 7,000 people working very hard. It's not an easy place to work. High standards, high expectations, but 7,000 people working to improve the health and well-being of the community. We believed you could do more than one thing at a time. We did not believe in getting forced into false choices, that we'd take care of the community and take care of our patients. Courage, some discipline, and durability to see it through. And that is how you build trust, and that's how you make a positive contribution to the long-term health and well-being of the community. It's a choice. It's not an accident. We didn't wait for the government to fix us. We didn't wait for a professor to give us an assignment. It's a choice to live by your values and make it better for the health and well-being of your communities. Have a great evening.
Well, thank you, Dr. Thompson, for that very inspiring presentation. I have to say you are the best well-preserved 150-year-old I've ever met. And was a little disappointed that when you weren't allowed to make jokes about the university or the faculty, you didn't make a joke about the Chancellor. Okay, I now ask that Melissa Gavin, President of the Alumni Association Board of Directors, come forward to present the alumni lifetime memberships. Please notice her shoes. She's very school-spirited, but they won't get her home.
To bring this down a little bit tonight. On behalf of the UW-Platteville Alumni Association, it is my pleasure and honor to congratulate the May 2016 commencement class. I encourage you to stay connected to UW-Platteville after graduation and seek out opportunities to stay connected. Volunteer to serve on the Alumni Association Board of Directors or an alumni chapter for the Distance Education or BILSA. Attend an alumni event in your area or come back to campus for the BILSA Golf Outing happening May 20th here in Platteville and the 150th celebration of homecoming happening this October. Or remain connected through social media by using the hashtag GoUWP to share selfies with Pioneer Pete. So now you all are welcome to the alumni, so let's pull out your phone. I know you have them. Come on, everybody. Come on, you new alums, pull them out. I've seen you as I'm watching. You have your phones, pull it out, take your selfie. Come on. And then put a hashtag, Go UWP, on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, whichever method you'd like. There's a whole bunch. Okay. Now that you've all done that, I saw cameras coming out, thanks. Proudly hang your diploma that you'll receive tonight in your office and encourage others to seek out UW-Platteville for their undergrad degree or their advanced degree. There are many ways to be an active alumnus. At each commencement, the Alumni Association recognizes select graduates by awarding them a lifetime membership into the Alumni Association. This is a $400 value. Recipients for this award have been involved on campus and in the community, have professional development experience, academic excellence, and their nominators feel strongly that they will continue to stay involved with the university and the Alumni Association after graduation. For this semester, we have selected 6 individuals as recipients, and 1 is graduating this evening. Samantha Way, please stand. Samantha majored in media studies and is from Hudson, Wisconsin. Congratulations to Samantha and to all of you.
Chancellor Dennis J. Shields is finishing his 6th year at the University of Wisconsin-Platteville. During that time, he has guided the campus through tremendous growth in programs, resources, and facilities. By using innovative public-private methods, he led the construction of Roundtree Commons and Bridgeway Commons, ensuring all freshmen and sophomores remain engaged in campus life through residential living. We know through the scholarship of teaching and learning that having students live on campus in residence halls adds to their success, their persistence, and their graduation rate. And so this was a wonderful accomplishment on Chancellor Shields' part. In addition, he has championed the faculty and staff by working with all aspects of shared governance, ensuring the university remains committed to the core mission of providing an affordable and accessible education. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me in welcoming Chancellor Dennis J. Shields.
Good evening. Good evening. I'm going to take a point of privilege here before I start my short, more formal remarks. Dr. Denherter, would you stand up for a second? Through my 6 years here, Mitty Denherter has served as the Provost and Vice Chancellor for Academic Affairs at this university. She's stepping down this summer, and she has been the MC of these ceremonies ever since I arrived here. She will return to her love of teaching, and hopefully I can convince her to engage in some special projects in support of the university as she moves forward. She spent 30 years on this campus. I think she likes to tell the story that she'd asked on the way in how many years she'd have to stay here before she could go off somewhere else. And now 30 years later, as a teacher, a scholar, an administrator. I think at one time she's been a department chair, an assistant dean, a dean, and now the last 6 years as the vice chancellor and provost of this university. For those of you in the audience, a provost is the chief academic officer of the university. Her selfless interest in staff and faculty has been on display every day of those 30 years, and I've been witness to it the last 6. She's been a great aid to me and in her service of the last 6 years. Finally, she is one of the kindest, most thoughtful people I've had the privilege of meeting and working with. She has been a great colleague and, most significantly, a great friend. I am in her debt, and I hope you'll agree with me, as are generations of students, faculty, and staff. Thank you. Graduates, I am pleased to welcome you to this ceremony. As you've heard, it is special both for you and for the University of Wisconsin-Platteville. We are tremendously proud of all that you have accomplished. Congratulations. Parents and honored guests, this day would not have been possible for these students without your support and belief that they would reach this milestone, which we celebrate today. Congratulations to you, and thank you for all you have done to aid your student success. To our faculty and staff, thank you for your dedication, for the hours spent inside and outside the classroom, providing advice, guidance, and opportunity to these graduates. Your care, and let me mention, almost every day I get the opportunity to make this observation, but in the last week, a biology student whose father was tragically killed in an automobile accident just a week ago, has received remarkable support from the full faculty of the biology department. It's one example. There's another professor of English who's worked with a student in this last week who discovered a major health issue and could not finish this semester and spent many hours figuring out how to advance their academic career in the future. And a faculty member from engineering, math, and science who also supported a student who was facing a health crisis. So when I talk about the faculty and staff caring about students, that's a real thing. And you, in many ways, have my heartfelt thanks for all that you've done and continue to do. Graduates, this day is a special day for you and the university as a whole, especially this year, our sesquicentennial year, the 150th anniversary of our founding. For any organization, and especially for a university, to thrive, it must adapt and transform over time. Looking at this campus today, you might not know that this was once a two-college town, hosting both a teacher's college and a mining school. To adapt to changing times and to improve our ability to provide an exemplary education in Southwest Wisconsin, the two schools merged in 1959 and began their journey together as a university as you know it today. To adapt to changing times, since then, graduates every year have been, as you are today, filled with excitement and expectation. Know that like our past graduates, you now possess the expertise and the skills necessary to go out into the world and make important contributions to your communities, to business, and to industry. It is, in fact, highly unlikely that you will stay with the same company or serve in the same position your higher career. It is more likely that in the first 10 years of your career, you will change jobs or the expectations of your job will change as many as 7 times. Change can be scary, but I say this to give you confidence. You are ready. University of Wisconsin-Platteville graduates are highly valued. Local, state, and national businesses seek out our graduates not just because of their technical expertise, but also their ability to adapt and transform. You, our graduates, have, as a result of your education here, strong communication skills, excellent writing skills, the ability to build quality relationships, and the energy and creativity to be huge successes. These are important components of a liberal arts education. This is why you are ready to begin your career, pursue a graduate degree, embark on a humanitarian endeavor, or launch a new business. This university has prepared you well for all of these options. When I was an admissions officer about 15 years ago, my mentor challenged me and said, "Why don't you become a dean? Why don't you think about becoming a chancellor or a president of a university?" To this meant I had to believe in myself, be ready to take on new challenges, and most importantly, continue learning. And now, as I come to nearly 6 years as a chancellor, I realize how I adapted and transformed my career. As a university, we continue, as we have for 150 years, to evolve and serve the citizens of this great state of Wisconsin and beyond. As you leave this university, you too will need to adapt and transform. You began this process when you first stepped on this campus. Over the course of your academic career, you built a foundation that allows you to adapt and transform throughout the rest of your life. As you begin the transition to life outside the university and bring your ability to enact change to your families, to your work, and to your communities, bring your energy and creativity to bear. Get involved in local causes. I've been involved in and committed to creating greater diversity in higher education for almost the whole course of my career. It lights my passion and keeps me moving forward. Be a catalyst for change. I'm certain that each and every one of you has a similar person, like my mentor, here at University of Platteville, that was a catalyst for change during your time here. So stay engaged with this institution and help us continually adapt and transform. Become the positive influence for the generations of pioneers to come. You are ready to be that catalyst, and today marks a great accomplishment. You've earned your degree and are well positioned to learn and do even more. Use the lessons you have learned in adapting to college to adapt to the challenges in front of you. Your ability to transform, as this university has successfully done for 150 years, will allow you to thrive in this changing world. So, congratulations on this sesquicentennial graduation. Congratulations on your achievement of your degree. And as you go forth, remember the past, celebrate the present, and pioneer the future. And by doing so, you will ensure that every day is a great day to be a pioneer. Thank you.
Okay, and now actually what we came here for. Would all of the individuals who are about to receive bachelor's or graduate's degrees please stand? Chancellor Shields, as the provost and as directed by the university faculty, I certify that the individuals standing before you are candidates for the degrees of Master of Science in Education, Bachelor of Arts, or Bachelor of Science. And upon completion of the prescribed curricula, they still have to go through final exam week, are entitled to receive their degrees from the University of Wisconsin-Platteville. I there recommend to you that these candidates be granted the appropriate diplomas for the curricula completed.
Upon this certification by the Provost and Vice Chancellor, and with the authority vested in me by the Board of Regents of the University of Wisconsin system, I am pleased to confer upon you the degree you have earned, together with all the rights and privileges attending thereto. Congratulations.
And now, undergraduates, please take your tassel and move it from the right to the left of your mortarboard, as you are now officially a UW-Wisconsin-Platteville graduate. I suppose the graduate students can do that too. Okay. At this time, I'd like to invite Assistant Professor of Organizational Behavior and Management, Timothy Straight, to come to the podium so he can read the names of the candidates as they come forward. I also asked Dr. Wayne Weber, Dean of the College of Business, Industry, Life Science, and Agriculture, to come forward at this time.
Will the candidates for the degrees of Bachelor of Arts or Bachelor of Science from the School of Business please stand? You're already standing. Got to change the speech there. Chancellor Shields and Provost Denher, As Dean of the College of Business, Industry, Life Science, and Agriculture, I present to you the candidates for the degrees of Bachelor of Arts or Bachelor of Science. I would now ask Dr. Susan Hanson, Director of the School of Business, to come forward and present the degrees.
Master's degree, you may sit down, thank you. Now, will the candidates from the School of Business and the College of BILSA please begin coming forward?
Joseph T. Sigworth. Heidi A. Nitka. Casey J. Aker. Rachel L. Ackerman. Seth Martin Allen. Hannah E. Anderson. Derek Wayne Andre. Jaime W. Aragreen. Jacob Barchi. Kristen D. Barrett. Sydney Joy Bend. Abigail Lynn Beskey. Jacob D. Benson. Sarah L. Bleskowski. Daniel John Bocock. Caitlin Maria Bremer. Rebecca Lynn Bremeyer. Caitlin Renee Brigman. Kelly M. Buckholtz. Mackenzie L. Byers. Taylor Jane Carter. Cole J. Cooper. Michael John Cota. Joseph L. Cozy. Krista Karen Dank. Emily M. Bedeau. Dustin M. Dietzman. Casey Christine Fisher. Abigail J. Flanagan. Preston J. Free. Troy Lewis Garbish. Courtney Marie Gundlach. Allison L. Grau. Jenna M. Grandy. Colton Allen Hackett. Sierra Brooke Hartman. Jacob J. Held.
Get over here. Get over here.
Adam C. Hendricks.
Here, Tim. Thank you.
Tamara Janice Hess. Thomas A. Hoffer. Heather Marie Hubbard. Tyler Ike. Kelsey Ann Jacobson. Andrew James Jocelyn. Amy Therese Karsten. Caitlin May Cast. Samuel E. Keyser. Nicholas Abe Key. Morgan Ray Keelish. Emily Joy Kimple. James F. King. Kelsey L. Kirschbaum. Kathleen Jean Clark. Erica Marie Kaler. Karina Marie Koopmans. Nolan Charles Cradwell. Stacy L. Kominga. Mackenzie Lynn Kubeli. Dean R. Ladwig. Brandon David Lane. Ian D. Lang. Brittany Nicole Latour. Jordan Mary Leonard. William J. Lilstrom Kern. Kelly Christine Lynch. Josue Daniel Marcias. Desiree Diane Marty. Carrie A. MacArthur. Alyssa Lynn Meyer. Amanda Sue Millen. Audrey Sue-Ann Moody. Donald P. Morrow. Tyler D. Nelson. Zachary Lee Neeland. Spencer M. Novinsky. Brenda M. Oftedal. Daniel J. Poe. Alex Taylor Puradek. Brian Patrick Quinn. Kelsey Jennifer Reed. Stephanie A. Reif. Melissa Ann Richard. Jendell Ray Roby. Alicia Christine Rail. Louis P. Sage, Jr. Cassidy Ray Salisbury. Matthew David Schleim. Brittany Lee Schmidt. Rachel E. Schneider. Jacob J. Seaman. Hannah Lynn Schuler. Brian Eric Smith. Adam D. Starr. Eliza Jane Stone. Luke Stanley Stoutmeister. Jessa J. Stouffer. Anna Joy Strand. Ryan T. Timmerman. Linda A. Trebatowski. Zachary Richard Vick. Tyler A. Vraney. Samantha J. Waters. Samantha V. Way. John Larry Wire. Terry R. Williams. Carly L. Winchester. Yoel Isa Wanzi. Sue Zong. Joshua Michael Jared Zimmer. Zachary J. Iverson. Todd L. Wilkness.
I'm sorry. I would now ask that Dr. Dominic Beraklaw, Director of the School of Graduate Studies, please come forward.
Will the candidates for the degrees of Master of Science and Master of Science in Education please stand? Chancellor Shields and Provost Den Herder, as Director of the School of Graduate Studies, I present to you the candidates for the degrees of Master of Science and Master of Science in Education. And now, master degree candidates, please begin coming forward to receive your hoods.
Kelsey Shea Adams. Thabet Ali Almazayed. Gregory R. Bees. Kelly Rose Blada. Kimberly Bonsett-Veal. Timothy J. Borowski. Greg Broadbent. Cheryl Ann Brunswick Schwartz. Andrew Casper. E. Chen. Laura P. Clark. Matthew Cram. Suzanne Marie Daly. Cleveland C. Daniels. Nicole J. Derler. Matthew Andrew James Dotson. Jessica Leanne Evans. Christina Marie Flishrum. Whitney M. Foltz. Melissa A. Gens. Catherine A. Gressing. Matthew J. Hubert. Andrew Tabor Ingham. Allison April Jacobs. Jason W. Johnson. Ashley Marie Lands. Rachel Larson. Jennifer Neal Lawson. Eliza Marie Leitzinger. Ying Li. Amanda Lillibridge. Chuen Liu. Yanhong Lu. Megan Marie Luby. Marie Elizabeth McMillan. Kurt M. Meyer. Moiketsky Mlaudy. Kyle Newhauser. Danny R. Parrott, Jr. Kimberly Ann Patek. Rachel Perkowitz. Cole Patrick Sanders. Jennifer Marie Savan. Tamara Lizette Sinclair. Christopher Sykes. Mark Stephen Sadati. Crystal L. Taylor. Ebony Daniel Taylor. Shibu Thomas.
Too much to read.
Rye Lee Thompson. Caitlin Elizabeth Turner. Brittany Walker. Eric Edward Walker. And Della Wong. Kung Wong. Andre Washington. Trina Wells Anderson. Shiloh Ann Wilkinson. Zhuting Shah. Yaoyang Shah. Ying Zhu. Tashanti C. Young. Juan Yan. Jordan Elizabeth Zarka. Chudrine Zhang. Yudi Zhang.
Putting together this ceremony takes considerable work, much of it behind the scenes. So at this time, I'd like to thank the following people: the senior staff, some of whom are seated here on stage; the commencement committee, led by Dr. Joanne Wilson and Dr. Lenita Lamanovic; commencement marshal, Wendy Brook; assistant professor of business administration, Timothy Strait, who read the names quite ably; student ambassadors who served as our ushers, the University of Wisconsin-Blatteville Symphony Band led by Matthew Gregg for the music, Media Technology Services, the Division of External Relations. Would all those who I've just mentioned who've helped with tonight's ceremony please rise and be recognized. Now, sitting in the front row up here in front of the stage are a special group of people who have taught and advised and done so much more for the students. These are people with a calling and a passion for public higher education. They have a passion for their discipline, and they have a passion for teaching. They care about their students as individuals, and graduates, they care about you and the future that you will bring to this country and to the world. So at this time, I would ask that the faculty and staff stand and turn and face the graduates so that they may applaud you. Now, none of this would have been possible without this last group of people who have helped our graduates throughout their collegiate careers and indeed throughout their entire lives. So would the families and friends of the 2016 sesquicentennial UW-Platteville graduates please stand and be recognized by their graduates. I now ask that you please turn to page 52 of your commencement program, Father Alma Mater, led again by Hillary Holland.
Oh yeah, so the last thing.
Alma Mater, grand and glorious, we shall ever be victorious. All we are to you, dear Platteville, none shall falter evermore. Alma mater, grand and glorious, wrought by loyalty.
Seated. Please be seated. I know. Yeah, that's a little anticlimactic, I realize that. The commencement ceremonies have been recorded and are available for on-demand viewing on the campus website. I ask that everyone please remain seated until the faculty and the stage party have left the gymnasium. And once the faculty have reached the lobby, the graduates are dismissed and can join their families and friends. The flags representing all the countries from which our students hail are displayed out in the main lobby for photographs, as are the college banners. Once again, congratulations to the University of Wisconsin-Platteville graduating class of this sesquicentennial year, May 2016. This ends the ceremony. Family and friends, please come and congratulate and greet your graduates.